I'm back, baby!
Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Man, it's been a while since I've talked about this game, but truth be told, Brawl will always have a special place in my heart. After all, it was the very first Smash game I played, and by golly was I obsessed with this Subspace Emissary back in the day. Longtime fans may remember that it was the topic of my very first YouTube video for this channel, so I thought I'd take the time out today to reminisce a little and look back on those fond memories I have of Brawl's adventure mode, and of course contemplate on what characters really went the hardest when it came to showing us what they could do. So without further delay, I present to you my list on the top 5 heroes of the Subspace Emissary. Emphasis on my list. So, let's get started. Number 5. With such a vast cast of characters, you can imagine just how hard it must be to get the spotlight on everybody. Each new character introduced is essentially tasked with the job of not only making a good first impression, but also stealing the whole scene for themselves before the screen time is ripped away from them again. However, as cool as it is seeing your favourite video game character come out of nowhere to kick some ass, after their fan service moment is over, the majority are reduced to mere background characters who don't really do much. I'm looking at you, Ike. Only the select few have the privilege, however, of not only making a flashy entrance, but also proving their worth in the long run. One of those fortunate few is Fox McCloud. I won't lie to you, this 5th placement was a close call between a bunch of characters, but I think Fox just has the edge for putting in a lot of work from the beginning. Don't get me wrong, characters like Samus, Meta Knight, and even Diddy certainly do too, though had their own personal goals in mind. Fox was focused on the cause of stopping the Subspace Army since the start, and put up one hell of a good fight doing so, even in the later portions of the story. He's also tied with Diddy for taking down the most amount of bosses. Who knew the furry team would be so deadly? Needless to say, Fox managed to prove just how competent and reliable he can be, even more so than some of Nintendo's more iconic mascots, all while making a top-tier entrance of his own. Fox and Diddy took down a Rayquaza. What did you do, Mario? Number 4. Let me ask you this, what's more important, the time you put into fighting or the impact that your actions made in the battle? As discussed with Fox, putting in the hard work goes a long way into estimating how much you contributed. But what if, with only one action, you're able to completely turn the tables in your team's favour? If part of being a hero is about saving lives, then how highly do you rank someone who is able to save everyone's life, despite being on the battlefield for the shortest amount of time? Enter Sonic the Hedgehog. Such an iconic symbol of camping in Smash that he even waits until the last second to make a damn appearance in the Subspace Emissary. I was originally very hesitant about including Sonic on here, mainly because of what I said about making a flashy appearance only to follow that up by doing nothing. Except Sonic is kind of the opposite in the fact that he doesn't show his face until the very last battle. Where were you when we had to take down a goddamn massive gunship? But as much as I hate to admit it, Sonic's actions did literally save everyone from being one-hit KO'd again, as his grand entrance involved decimating the fuck out of the mighty Taboo's wing things, essentially giving everyone the chance to go in for a full-on attack. I can only imagine how this must have felt, not only for the Sonic fans who were waiting for him to finally show up, but also the ones who had no idea that he was in the game. Don't lie to yourselves. You popped the fuck off, didn't you? But whether you like him or not, you gotta admit that Sonic shattering Taboo's big fuck you wings was one hell of a badass moment. We really coulda used you sooner, my guy. Number 3. Seeing all the different interactions and unlikely team-ups between these beloved Nintendo characters was a huge part of the Subspace Emissary's general appeal, and it makes me wonder what the thought process was behind a lot of these storyline decisions. Who decided that Mario should join forces with Pit, for example, or that Robberfall characters should be given such a pivotal yet unexpected role? And who was in charge of showcasing just what these characters could do? Because I think they went a bit overboard when it came to Ness. At first showing up to defend the ever-timid Lucas, Ness more than showed us just how capable he was when it came to combat, making quick work of the Porky statue with PK Flash, which is how you beat him in Mother 3 by the way. Bro, you weren't even in that one. And then facing off against Wario, where he was able to easily avoid multiple blasts from the Dark Cannon, a weapon that only a few characters had been able to dodge once. I didn't even know who this kid was at the time, only that he wasn't fucking around. And if that wasn't enough of a spotlight introduction, Ness even sacrifices himself to save Lucas when Wario aims for him instead. Almost as if they introduced Ness as such a powerful character that the only way he was going down was if he chose to take a bullet for someone else. Sorry my guy, we made you so OP that we have to put you back in your box. It's funny seeing the comparison between this and Luigi also sharing the same fate as Ness, because DDD decided to smack him with a fucking hammer when he wasn't looking. And it's not as if Ness even ended up as another one-hit wonder, as on top of everything, this child then proceeded to save all the other characters along with DDD and Luigi once he figured out the reason why they were no longer trophies. It still feels weird that we never got a reunion scene between him and Lucas though. That really would have been the cherry on top. Number 2. If there's one thing I've learned from the Subspace Emissary, it's that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than you might think. How are we supposed to know, for instance, that Game & Watch was being used to create the shadow bugs, or that Ganondorf was planning on overthrowing Master Hand? Making a story without dialogue is bold enough on its own, but it only makes you wonder how things might have gone if the characters actually spoke. They were able to pull off a few neat things like Lucario seeing who to trust with his aura, and Rob rebelling against Ganondorf after being forced to work for him, but what about explaining that a character who was fighting against us was actually on our side the whole time? I reckon things would have gone much differently with DDD if he was installed with a voice box. After all, my guy somehow managed to learn the secrets of Taboo and what he could do, and instead of sharing that information, thought it would be best to instead go around and cause fucking chaos, swiping any trophy he came across. As we learned later on in the game, this was so that his magical brooches could revive anyone turned into a trophy. That's right, the smartest character in the whole story was none other than King DDD. Looks can be deceiving. With that being said, DDD certainly gets the reward for being the most autistic hero ever. It takes a unique mindset to hit someone with a hammer rather than explain that you want to put a glorified badge on them. But hey, I gotta give credit where credit is due. DDD managed to save the entire run by creating this little backup team, and it doesn't hurt that he also clobbered a hostile Bowser right after. I still love the fact that they randomly gave such a vital rescue mission to such an unlikely team of goofballs. You wanna talk heroes? These three were the true heroes of Subspace. Well, them, and one other. Number 1. Now that we're left with just the number 1 spot, I hope you all paid attention to what traits are required to become a hero in Smash. Dedication, audacity, bravery, and of course, being a goddamn Kirby character. Introduced in the very first scene alongside Mario, Peach and Zelda, Kirby wasted no time getting his hands dirty. Freeing both Peach and Zelda as well as taking down Petey all by himself, Kirby managed to make a strong first impression, which only got better as he proceeded to save either Peach or Zelda, escape with them on a warp star, admittedly ditch them a few chapters later, but like, come on, my boy was probably hungry. Stop DDD from nabbing either the Mario and Pit or Link and Yoshi trophies, revive them both, save 2 of them again using his warp star, and single-handedly take down the subspace gunship flying directly into it while riding a Dragoon, causing the whole thing to explode in a chain reaction and then fly away casually like nothing even happened. Kirby isn't just a hero, he's a universal threat. And if that wasn't enough, he too goes on an adventure to save a bunch of characters turned into trophies in Subspace, just like Luigi, Ness, and DDD, being revived from a DDD brooch that he decided to eat. Wow. So yeah, from beginning to end, Kirby really proved to be the ultimate hero, before Ultimate was even a thing and he was given the role of the Chosen One yet again. So nice of Sakurai to make all the Kirby characters so powerful in Smash. He must really be a fan of the series. But anyway, that's it for me, and do let me know in the comments who you think were the greatest heroes in the Subspace Emissary. Thanks for watching my little tribute video, and if you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all my content. Until next time, see you later.